You've worked so hard your whole life. Now the question is real. How do you make money choices that take care of your future, not just today, but of all your tomorrows? Today, we are talking about becoming retired. If you ever looked at your bank account, your future, and your responsibilities all at the same time and thought, I cannot afford to retire and I cannot afford to get this wrong. I need you to stay with me because what I'm about to share will shift how you think, how you move, and how you move into this next phase in your life. This is not just about your money. This is about having some peace of mind, keeping your power, and protecting your future well beyond your own life.
Are you really ready for this?
And you're not even trying to fight for yourself.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't your fault.
So you got to take some action. Hey, my Mama Faye family. Come on in. Your journey has brought you here. Take a seat, and I need you to relax because the next couple of minutes is definitely going to change your life. Let me introduce myself to some. I am Mama Faye, and I am on this mission to elevate women who are becoming, and a few men that dare to listen in. Women who are growing into themselves in real time, women who hold families, careers, and relationships together. I bring my lived experience as a wife, a mom, a nurse, a leader, a coach, and a woman who has walked in many seasons in life. This week, we are really and ready and going to talk about becoming retired and becoming financially stable, whatever that means. And I want to talk about the real questions many women are asking right now, especially if you're nearing retirement and you are contemplating that retirement date. But this is also for those of you who are in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s, because you need to know this information now so that by the time you are ready to push that button and say, this is my retirement date, you will have the confidence that you need. Also, I want to talk about how do I build financial confidence and long-term security, and how do I make good choices that support my future and not just my today. And that's very important. Now, let me say this in a way that will hopefully sit with you and will help you today. You are not just managing your money anymore. You are now protecting your future as much as you can. Because as you can see, everything changes and everything shifts. So we're going to do the best we can with what we know at the time we knew it. Women who become financially stable are not just chasing money. She or you are building something that will last much longer than your paycheck. I know if you are retired already, I know you're saying, I wish I would have known this earlier. But I want you to take a deep breath too, because you are not behind. But today we are walking in a new season that requires a new way of thinking, and now is the time for the readjustment. I am going to give you 4 real answers that you can use starting today. These are based on what experts are teaching right now and what real women are doing across communities to help build security in this season. Now, the first problem that many of us face as women, and the few men that's listening in, is fear of running out, fear of not having enough. And here are some tips that you and I can do to help us. We need to a simple plan so that we can really see what is really going on in our life. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go back and we're going to write down all the money you get each month. Then we're going to write down what we must pay, and the needs are going to put the needs on one side and the wants on the other side. I want you to go back and circle and prioritize what is needed, and we need to cross out what is a want for now. Then let us choose a safe amount that we can spend each month and stay close to that budget. This is not about restriction. This is really about seeing where our money is going. Because we have to make another adjustment, and you all through retirement, we're going to be making these adjustments. And if you look back over your life, you was doing it while you were raising children, building a career. You made those adjustments, and you can make those adjustments once you retire too. You don't have to stay stuck and feel like, oh, I hit that retirement budget button, and now I can't not make another choice other than just staying retired. You can always go back to work. So don't get fearful about making that decision. And when you can see your money, you can lead your money. I began to see I was spending too much on groceries. And when I had a large family, I went grocery shopping, and of course, I would pick out enough for us to eat and maybe some snacks and this and that. And I had a full list that I would go and shop for every week. But once you are on a retirement budget, you have to learn to buy what you eat. You can adjust later once your budget allows. And also, you want to give allowance based on disasters. Some of us live in disaster zone areas. So when it is required, we have to have the essentials in our house. Now, the second problem is confusion. You do not know what to do next with your money. And so this is why it's so important for us to learn about investing in retirement. Because investing in retirement, or when you're getting ready to retire, looks very different than investing at other periods of your life. You and I want our money to keep working for us, but we got to keep our risk at a low, and it has to be adjusted when you know that you're about to retire and you're in retirement. So keep some money in a safe growth account if you can, with less high risk. Do not move all of your money at one time. That is key. And ask questions before making big choices. Look at the requirements and have a professional or a trusted person who is proving themselves. They got to prove themselves to you, to review with you. Learn one small thing about laws, about the economy, what the economy is doing. Listen to forecasts, because there are people who are professional who put out financial forecasts for the future. And this will affect your money that you have. It's going to affect how it is being spent, but whether you believe it or not. Because if you have a home, they taking out property taxes. If you live in a certain location, you are paying the local tax. And also too, if you are on Medicare and Medicaid, or you're on some type of insurance, those laws change often. So we have to stay abreast on those things. And I also advise you to become a part of different organizations that deal with retirement, so that you can get some of their newsletters, because a lot of them have a lot of this information in those newsletters that are key. And there are certain podcasts that are dedicated to about Social Security, about Medicare. Make very sure these are trusted people the key have proven themselves. So, you do not need to know everything. You and I just need to stay engaged. Now, the third problem is regret. Feeling like you missed your chance. Here is some tips here. You still have value that can create income. So not to worry. What are we doing? Those of us that are retired, we got to keep readjusting. Those that have not retired yet, you're going to be looking to see where you can make new income and you can create new income areas and streams. So we're going to write down what you know how to do. We're going to do a skill assessment. That's what you do a lot of times when you want to make a career move, when you want to make a career change, when you want to go for a different level job and you want to go to a different level. You have to do a skill assessment about what are your skills that you can do. And I like to say when you're in retirement, the ones that you really like to do. Because a lot of times we do skills that we have to do because we got to put food on the table. We got to put a roof over our head. So there are a lot of skills that we did in the past because we had to. Now in retirement, you want to choose the skills that you enjoy doing because it will not feel like work for you. It'll feel like you're still retired. And start with one idea and then build slowly and steady without pressure. And it can be in teaching that skill. It can be in coaching others or mentoring others. It can also be as volunteers. You can volunteer if you would like because maybe you have enough income that you can take care of your finances and invest, or you want to volunteer that, and that's how you're going to spend that time. Or you can find other ways. Some people work part-time because that brings in additional income, but they may do it as a contractor or as a I-9 employer, and so that will bring in as well. Many women have rebuilt their income from using what they know. Your life experience will not be wasted. Now, the fourth question and the fourth problem is isolation. Don't make these choices alone. Instead, we have to build a circle. It may take some time, so be patient with yourself and don't rush this process. Find one or two trusted voices for money advice. Talk to other women that are in the same season because they have some great ideas, and ask them what are they doing that are well, because many women can share with you their ups and downs. And then also, we want to be honest about what you do not know. It's okay to not know. This is new season in your life, and it may look very different from your moms and your grandma and how they had retirement, because everything is different, and every generation it may look different. So looking back at how your grandma or your mom retired, maybe it's going to be very, very different. Then I need you to check in with with those people in your support group at least once a week or once a month, or regularly as you possibly can. You and I, we do not have to carry it all by ourselves. Now, this is a bonus. I want us to know what we want to do next before you retire, if you can. And if you already have, or if you haven't already, I want you to figure out and create a solid plan for what you want to do next in your life. Whether it is working part-time, consulting, or traveling, don't wait until the last day that you are leaving the job and have sort of an idea of what you want to do. And no, This has to be a real thought out plan, because what will happen is you will press that button and it'll be the last day, and you had some ideas vaguely what you wanted to do. You haven't started any of it yet, and you will find yourself in isolation. So phase in the next adventure in your life before you retire if you haven't done already, so it won't feel so hard when you do. And those of you who are like me, who you're already in retirement, it is not too late to recalibrate. Let's rewrite the plan and find out where are the gaps. Then we're going to take one small step towards filling that gap, and then we're going to keep walking. Now, let's bring this back to your becoming. My becoming goal this week is my connection with God. I want to step it up a bit, taking more time each day to sit, to reflect, to pray, and to write. And I'm asking God for directions in my decisions. I currently already have a morning routine that I do, but making sure that I am truly connecting in all the ways, and that I'm being completely honest in my relationship with the Lord, so that He can guide me and I can have that true connection. Now, this is your space to write down your goal. I want you to write down and fill in this blank. I am working on becoming, and then blank. And then what I want you to do is to work on it. During your weekly check-in, I want you to work on that particular goal. I want you to think about where you are this week in your progress toward your goals. And if you're retired, or you're thinking about retiring, or one day you want to retire, I need you to think about starting that process as well. Because the earlier and the sooner you look at that, the sooner you will thank yourself years later. And I know I started pretty much in my 30s. I started by, at that time, 401ks were big. And I made a conscious decision to start investing in my 401k. And not only did I do that on the job, because I did a 9-to-5 job. And so not only did I start investing in my 401k at the time, I also made sure that when I got raises, I put a portion of my raise into that 401k, and I kept leveling up each year as my income increased, because back then we actually got raises. I know that sounds very foreign today, but we actually received some raises every year, most of the years. And another thing that I did was I was working at a hospital that did not have a pension. And I know pensions are going away, but at the time I knew that there was a hospital district that had pensions, and I intentionally left the hospital that did not have pensions, and I moved to a hospital that did have a pension plan. And that worked it out very well in my favor. So those are some of the things that you have to do early on. And I did that in my 30s, and I'm so grateful that I did it. It didn't solve all of my retirement problems, but definitely made it a lot better. So I want to encourage you that wherever you are in your phase in life, if you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, don't put it off. Because even you would say, well, right now I don't have enough money. I didn't have enough money either. But I knew that I had to make it a sacrifice. And so I sacrificed things while I was in my 30s, while I was in my 40s, while I was in my 50s, because I knew that I needed to make those hard decisions to put something away. And did I dip into it? Yes, I did. Absolutely. When I had emergencies, yes, I did. That was something that I probably should have not do. But I was thankful that I had the money. So I want to encourage you to look at where you are today and start working toward, even if it's just a little bit. And some of you are at jobs where they actually match your money in 401ks, which is changing. So I want you to look for the laws and look at how it is changing and how that's going to impact your retirement and your retirement budget right now. And I talk more about this in the newsletter, so I want you all to get that newsletter this week and look at the things that you need to be looking at in order to retire. So if you completed your goals this week, I do want you to feel that is not small, that is growth, and I want you to keep going. And for those of you who haven't started yet, I am asking you this directly. What becoming goal are you willing to start this week? Do not wait for a perfect time. Start right where you all are, and I want you to start small. Just take one step toward seeing that goal come to pass. Because if you can get one goal to happen, it's going to excite you to do more goal setting. Now, here's your reminder. Becoming does not happen by thinking about it. It happens when you take real steps. And now I want you to get involved in your own journey. I want you to stop watching from the outside, stop waiting, but actively build the life you know you need. And it is there for you to have. It's not going to be perfect. It doesn't mean that you're never going to have struggles, trials. It doesn't mean that you're never going to feel disappointment. But what it does mean, it won't make your life won't go so low that you feel like you would never be able to recover. And if you get there, I do have a comeback series, so you can go to small steps, big change. Listen to how to come back from that. And for those of you, I need you to leave me a comment and let me know what you are becoming and what goals you are working on. I really want to hear from you. And of course, if this podcast has spoken to you, I want you to stay connected. Please subscribe to Motivate Moment by MOMAFEY-HT on Substack, so you can receive every email that would have the episode in it, and you can go right in there and click it, and you'll be able to hear the Mama Faye Becoming Me podcast, which is one of 3 podcasts that I currently have. I do not want you to miss it. Then I need you to subscribe for free to the Becomers newsletter that I just talked about, because it is a real extension of this episode. And it's giving you more steps and support on every week's topic. And this week, as I said, I have 20 things that is working right now for women retiring in 2026 and beyond. So you want to go and get some additional tips on and things that you need to consider if you're planning to ever retire, that you need to consider and keep that in your back pocket. Or for those of you who are facing down and know that you want to retire in the next couple of years, you need to definitely tune into that and get that, and so you'll have it so that you can be ready and be prepared as much as you can. And for those of you that are listening that want to listen on other platforms, I have the MOMAFEY-HT.podbean.com, and it streams on 8 platforms or more, like YouTube, Apple, and Pandora was just recently added, and there's so many more wherever you get your podcast. And you can track your progress with the Mama Faye Goal Setting Journal. And for more, please visit the MOMAFEY-HT.com. Now, for those of you who want to know how can I support this mission, you can support this mission by going to the MOMAFEY-HT.com and purchasing the MOMAFEY-HT Becomers collections. I have t-shirts and a tote that you can buy, and it's some more journals and ebooks that are on there as well. Because every purchase that you make helps support another woman's becoming journey. So follow me at MOMAFEY-HT across all social media platforms and stay connected to what is growing. And remember, on Thursdays, I do lives, Mama Faye live conversations, and it's currently on YouTube, Facebook, and Substack. All right, so our next episode, we're going to talk about becoming financially stable. I think that's a good one right behind this one. And this is where so many of us women stop halfway. And now we're going to learn how to finish what we started. And that's another thing that would help you as far as the Mama Faye goal, Mama Faye Becoming Me Goals journal, is it can help you with the finances as well, because you can write down what your goals are going to be for your finances. Write down how you're going to accomplish those goals, because that's key. And make sure that those are steps that you are willing to take. And then each week we stay motivated by motivating each other to stay with the process. So I want to thank you for listening today. That is all for now. And I will see you next time.
Are you really ready for this? And you're not even trying to fight for yourself.
Yeah,
I know. It wasn't your fault.
you got to take some action.